Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Ultima 8, and when last we left off, we just helped Bane murder Vardion. We didn't know that Bane was intending to murder Vardion, but I had a sneaking suspicion that something was indeed amiss, though I get the feeling that if we'd have helped Vardion, Vardion only sought to eliminate somebody that may have tried to take his position, and so either way, there wasn't a good choice here. We need to learn sorcery, because we need to gain the power of all of the titans, and we have been tasked with going to the library and learning everything that we can about sorcery, so that we can pass the first test. We're going to have to do quite a lot of reading, I wager, because there are going to be a lot of spells. While we're going this way, let's just see what happened, shall we? I'm going to go over here, and yes, Vardion is very dead. Very dead indeed. Vardion, the dead sorcerer. Does he have anything of particular value? We may want to take some of the things that he has. He has a wonder flame bolt, for instance. And he also has this keg full, I imagine, of ale. We're going to leave for now. We're going to go to the library, and we're going to see what we can find there. I imagine the library is going to be up here. Is this the library, or is this where more disciples live? Let's go and find out. There's nobody here, but there is somebody here. There's somebody in the corner. I saw you. You can't hide forever. I wonder what happens when a sorcerer summons a demon to fight another demon. Perhaps that is the best defense against a demon attack. I must go now. Perhaps we shall speak later. And we never found out what your name was. But there's somebody here that we're going to say hello to, while they just talk to themselves. Hello. I shall have to learn how to banish demons as soon as possible. I suggest you do the same. Farewell for now. Are these two planning to fight each other? One of them was like, I wonder if summoning a demon is the best way to deal with a demon. And this one's going, maybe I should learn how to banish demons. There's going to be an epic fight here at some point. And unfortunately, I can't leave while you're standing there. Do you mind just moving? Just a little bit, sir. Over there, maybe? You're just going to stand there, aren't you? Fortunately, aha, you moved. I was about to say, but I have a way to get past you if you weren't going to move. Is this the library? It looks quite big. The Hall of the Sorcerers. Is it locked? It is not. Excellent. Anybody in here? Is this the library? This is the Library of Sorcery, but first we're going to talk to you. Hello. I shall have to learn how to banish demons as soon as possible. Everybody seems to want to learn how to banish demons. We can't open this door, but we can if we use the key that we got. This key here. We'll just add this to our keyring, and then we can unlock this easily. Excellent. In we go. And we'll just close this up and say hello to you. 'Tis a horrible way to go, consumed by a demon. I am not so sure I should have started down the burning path. Forgive me, I cannot speak now. There are lots of things here. There is a demon bone. There is also just some magic armor lying here. Some magic leggings. If I didn't have any, I'd be able to have them now. There are lots of candles here. There's also a lot of other candles in here. There are candles in here too. And in this treasure chest is a lot of reagents. I see some brimstone here. There's also some demon bone, some pumice, there's obsidian, and volcanic ash, and iron. I think all of those are going to be important. There is also there's a symbol of flame bolt, and there is the art of flame, and on sorcerous ways. There's a lot to read. Let's start reading, shall we? On sorcerous ways. Corridon of Argent Rock. Forward. Sorcery is the magic of fire. Destruction is the sorcerer's bailiwick. Being first and foremost an adept theurgist of the Order of Enlightenment, I find it hard to reconcile this power with my training as a healer. However, were it not for the Cabal's efforts, our island would have long since perished beneath the ash and lava pouring from the volcano. Some of my acolytes feel that having this power gives us an elevated status. I cannot agree. Our power gives us the ability to fulfill a duty to our people. No more, no less. The pentacle. This is the first instrument we of the Cabal found to use in dealing with the Lord of Flame. It can contain and bind him if properly prepared and administered. Fire flows first through the medium of the pentacle, before being shaped by the sorcerer. The lines of the pentacle serve different purposes in the web of an enchantment. The outer ring, called the peripherne, is a barrier, or ward if you will, that allows the sorcerer to conjure with safety. The lines of the interior divided into two groups, the conducia, the touch points on the peripherne, and the inner pentagon, called the locus. The points where the conducia touch peripherne each have a designation that relates to their distance from the volcano. The farthest point is called the aphelion. The middle of the two are mesostele. Mesostel Pass sits to the right of the aphelion, while Mesostel Z is to the left. The final points, close to the volcano, are appropriately called Perivolcane. Perivolcan Pa is on the right, and Perivolcan Z is on the left. The candle. The basis for the use of candles in sorcery is merely to aid in focusing a sorcerer's will upon the proper enchantment. A black candle incorporates ash with wax to temper the will with order, while red candles use blood and wax to free the sorcerer's imagination. The reagent. The relevance that reagents have to a spell are twofold. They provide additional energies for the sorcerer's use, as well as assisting in the formation of the proper spell. Their positions and proximity to each of the candles around the peripherne are extremely important and not to be tampered with. Experimentation is only to be attempted in the presence of a full complement of assisting acolytes. The focus. A focus in theurgy is a purified icon of the spell that the theurgist concentrates upon to release his inner power. Not so in sorcery. A focus is merely a receptacle of power. Great amounts of energy are spent to attune a spell to a focus and empower it, but once it is infused, only a minor exertion of willpower unleashes the charge of the spell. Depending upon the size, makeup and configuration of the focus, as well as the energy of the caster, a number of these charges will be available upon a successful binding. That was a lot of information to take in. Here is an explosion spellbook. Explosion. A bolt of flame is released when the sorcerer invokes this spell, shooting forth unerringly to the object of the sorcerer's ire. Upon reaching its destination, it explodes, causing heavy damage to all things caught within its range. Runes. Vas Ort Flam. Red candles. It's telling us where the red candles go. Perivolcan Pa, and Mesostel Z, and the Aphelion. Reagents. Ash at Mesostel Z, pumice at Perivolcan Pa, and iron at Mesostel Pa, and brimstone at the Aphelion. I think we want that book. We certainly want to hold on to a lot of books right now while we're learning the art of sorcery. So let's take this book. Just put this here. Excellent. We definitely want to find more books like that. This is the Ignite spellbook. Ignite. This invocation brings fire into existence upon a substance that will accept it. It can be used to light a single candle, or if the sorcerer focuses the energy upon himself, it can light all within a range determined by the power of the sorcerer. Inflam, red candles there, and the reagents ash and pumice. We'll be taking this book as well. We pretty much want all of these books for now, because this is very complicated magic. And I imagine at some point the Avatar is going to have to summon a demon. And that is something that I never thought the Avatar would be doing. Let's just read this book here. I think we've already... no, we haven't read this book actually. Let's just quickly flick through this book and then read it. I read that book, I believe. The Art of Flame, by Madron, first acolyte of the Cabal. Fire is the crucible of life. Before it, all impurities are burned away. All that remains is a pure, unclouded will. A sorcerer should revel in this, and know that power is his servant. The will of the sorcerer is the crucible of the reagents, but I speak herein not of the reagents, but instead of the foci of sorcery. The first focus we sorcerers created was made by casting a metal disc with shavings of a black rock-like substance. This substance was found to be throughout the island, and in fact all of our foci use this substance, to a greater or lesser degree. The disc was then engraved with the pentagram, symbol of fire. This dedicates it to our purposes. No sorcerer should be without his symbol, as it is the outward token of our superiority. A note about the sorcerer's pentagram symbol: it may cast several of the ignite or extinguish cantrips. Any other power, it may cast but once. The symbol, while versatile, lacked power, so we created a wand. It was only stable with less of the black rock, but a gem from the core of the volcano gave it the power necessary. These fire gems focus the will of the sorcerer's own inner fire. Casting capacity of the sorcerer's wand: it has the power to focus the ignite and extinguish spells in quantity, as well as the flash and flame bolt spells to a slightly lesser degree. In attempt to further increase the prowess of our spells, we created a rod suffused with black rock, with a fire gem at either end, as well as the centre. This focus allowed the casting of spells of defensive nature, in addition to those of the wand. Casting capacities of the sorcerer's rod: this focus can cast the wand spells in greater measure, and is empowered to cast the Endure Heat, Fire Shield, and Armour of Flame spells. Master Corrodim continued upon the work of the others by making another focus in a similar vein. It is formed mostly of solid black rock, fused into the shape of a staff by the power of Pyros. At either end it holds a fire gem, capped within black rock metal. Casting capacity of the Master's Staff: unknown, but it can cast Create Fire and cause explosions as well. I myself, becoming consumed with the idea that a more efficient, more powerful focus was possible, crafted the most powerful focus of all. Using the bones of Pyrrhus' demonic servants, I made a fine powder. Then mixing this powder with clay and the blood said demon, I fashioned a small replica of its skull. With fire gems as its eyes and baked in the heat of lava, it hardened to the strength of good masonry. With this talisman, I was able to summon demons to do my bidding, and banish them with mere words. The wielder of this focus should truly be considered the master of the enclave. That's useful to know. Here is the Fire Shield spellbook. Fire Shield. Flame circle the sorcerer at the casting of this spell. Only creatures of demonic origin can cross this barrier. Not even the sorcerer can cross this protective ward. Anyone foolish enough will be thrown back and burned in the bargain. It looks rather complicated, the runes, the candles, and the reagents. We're going to take this book. We're pretty much just stealing every single book in the library. I'm sure they have loads of copies of these books just lying around. They won't mind that we grab every single one. Are there other books that we can read here? There is the Fire Shield one. We have that one. We don't have the Extinguish one. Extinguish. By use of this spell, the caster attempts to douse a fire. When focused upon the sorcerer himself, all fires within a certain range will be quenched. Otherwise, it will douse the fire upon which it was specifically focused. All black candles and flam, and then there's pumice at 2 locations. That seems a pretty simple spell, and 2 disciples there are saying the exact same thing simultaneously. We definitely want that book. There we go, we'll just grab that, and can we put this in here? We can put that in here. Excellent. Nobody seems to mind. There is the Flash spellbook here. Flash. By means of this spell, the sorcerer can move from one visible place to another without actually traversing the intervening space. That is a useful spell. We have seen that be used. I think Baron used it, and these 2 people have entirely in-sync conversations right now, happening with themselves. We're going to grab this book and put that here, and now they are out of sync. What a pity. Any other spells we can learn? Summon Demon. Ah, this is going to be a complicated one. This dangerous ritual of binding will summon a demon to attack a foe of the sorcerer's choosing. The danger of this spell lies in the fact that if no victim is specified, the demon will attack the summoner. Lots of things are needed for this one, and we're going to grab the book because we're inevitably going to need it. Where is that book? Is it this book? It is this book. We'll have that book. There's also the Banish Demon spellbook. I feel like having one book is kind of useless if you don't have the other. Banish Demon. This spell attempts to force a demon to return to the plane of fire from which it was summoned. although not always successful, this is the sorcerer's best defense against these beasts, and there are a lot of things that we need to do. And let's just grab that. Any other spells we can learn? That is a shelf. The Endure Heat spellbook. This spell creates a shimmering field around the sorcerer that will allow him to touch any non-magical flame and remain unhurt. A sorcerer with this spell active can even endure the heat of lava if it is solid enough to support his weight. Ah, so the darker spots in the lava, the more solid parts, we could actually walk over with this spell. We'll certainly grab it. Excellent. Any other spells that we can learn? The Create Fire one, do we have that one? I don't think we do. Let's take that book as well. Just stealing everything from the library. Create Fire. Fire erupts at a location or beneath the victim of the sorcerer's focused will. This fire remains for a time, then dissipates. Always good to grab that one too. There is the Endure Heat one, Extinguish, Banish Demon, on Sorcerer's Ways, Fire Shield. Do I have pretty much all of the spells here? I may do. What else do we have here? That one, Extinguish, Flame Bolt. We don't have that one. Flame Bolt. A bolt of flame is released when the sorcerer invokes this spell, shooting forth an... Oh, I think we actually do have that one. Do we have that one? I believe I've read that before. Is this Flame Bolt? Is this Flame Bolt? That is Create Fire, Banish Demon, Ignite, Endure Heat. I'm pretty sure I read that one. Fire Shield, Summon Demon, Extinguish, and... Nope, we do not have that one. You know what? We're going to take that one. Don't mind me. Excellent. Anything else that we can grab here? This small book here, The Armor of Flames. The sorcerer is bathed in a corona of flames that ward off fire of a magical nature. These flames will protect the sorcerer for a time, then vanish. I think we pretty much have everything that we could possibly need. So we're going to grab this here. There we go. And then we're going to go. There are many things that we could get here, and I think it might be worth grabbing things like a rod and various things, but I think for now we're just going to open this up and leave. We have learned a lot. I wonder what Gorgrond will think now that we have been responsible for the death of Vardion. We could go over and say hello. I get the feeling this might not end very well, but we're going to anyway. This is Baron's home. We could talk to Baron, see what Baron thinks about what's happened. Hello. Now that you have joined us, you should busy yourself learning as much as you can about sorcery. I have no time to speak at the moment. Matters press upon my time. Farewell. Farewell, Baron. We have somebody else we need to talk to, though. And where is his home? Here is his home! I hope he's not going to attack us. There's only one way to find out, and that's to say hello. Let's save before we do so, though. This might not end very well for us. I had to check if it saved there, but yes it has. Let us talk to Gorgrond. And for some reason it thinks that we're in the middle of a conversation with him, but we will now say this, and we will end the conversation, and now we shall talk to Gorgrond. Do you know what you have done? You have allowed Bane to destroy one of the most powerful, resourceful, and courageous sorcerers this isle has ever known. I shall never forgive you for it, even though Malkir has. Leave me be. We're going to open this door, just in case we need to beat a hasty retreat. Go! You have killed my closest comrade. What else would you have of me? Leave me alone. If you speak to me again, I shall allow you to feel the agony that you visited upon my friend. Leave or die. I get the feeling we're about to have a fight. This is probably inevitable. I imagine that Gorgrond will at some point try to avenge Vardion. And now he is just going to fight us. Have at thee! And let's see. That's the end of the combat. I thought that might have been a little bit more dramatic than what it was. He was probably going to cast a lot more spells, but he is now dead. He has a symbol here, he has a wand, and he has a rod. Those things are probably going to be useful. And I imagine we have done something before we had to do this, because there's a high chance that he'd have tried to kill us at some point anyway. And we were only talking to him, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to kill you now. But we were able to kill him first. I don't think Malkir is going to be very impressed with this. And for some reason, the camera is focused only on where the combat started. I have no idea why that is. We need to find a way to focus the camera back upon generally moving around, and I think I know how to do that. But that will be for next time, folks. For when we come back, we'll be able to cast spells just like this, I'm sure. Okay, it might take us a little bit more time, because we don't quite yet have the hang of how sorcery works. But one day, we too will be able to make rings of fire that do practically nothing while somebody just attacks you with a melee weapon, and then they kill you. I get the feeling that some of the spells in the sorcery line of magic aren't really that useful. But then again, I haven't really used 3/4 of the spells in necromancy and in theurgy. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.